Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Assassin's Creed Origins, and today we're going to check out our quest log, do some side quests, and explore Siwa. At least, I think that's how you say it, Siwa, but whatever. I'm not good with Egypt names. So, the first quest we need to do is called Gear Up. And that has to do with, it looks like, creating our own materials.
Ooh.
That sounds fun. So anyway, if you guys could hit that like button, that'd be awesome.
I need to hunt for leather.
And I will be posting a new episode.
I need some help with the requests on my table if you have any time.
Every day at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ah.
They talk a lot.
Yeah, they do. And we have subtitles now, so enjoy that.
Yay.
Alright, so these are the available quests. Water Rats and Family Reunion. Reunite a man with his family who's held prisoner. So that's only quest level 2, and that one is quest level 3.
Not like him to give up.
Water Rats.
Being an assassin is so dark.
The freshwater spring in the Amanai cave. I know that cave. Better look into it.
No, we're gonna go find a cave. But actually, the difficulty of that looked kind of we're not really ready for that. I think we're a level 2. It's not good to tackle quests where your guy is too weak because, especially on normal difficulty, you're gonna get wrecked. And since this gameplay is not modeled after the Arkham games anymore, and it's going for some more current modern stuff,
Yeah.
I'm not very good at those type of games like The Witcher and things like that. I'm more comfortable with, you know, free flow combat and stuff like that. This is completely different.
Yeah. Is it weird to me that, like, I was thinking when we were going to be in Egypt, I was thinking, like, you know, like 2000 BC in ancient Egypt, and you're in the middle of building a giant pyramid, and everyone's wearing that weird makeup. And,
Oh, that would have been cool.
yeah, I mean, like, this is definitely, if you think about it, when you get to 49 BC, it's definitely more modernized.
Modern Egyptianized.
I mean, it's kind of Egyptian, like, they have pharaohs and stuff, but it's kind of like, you know, the Queen of England, where it's like, yeah, she's there, but she doesn't do the same thing as queens and kings did a long time ago.
Well, I think the reason why they picked this too, and I like being able to control the Falcon, this is really cool, very peaceful. I saw a trailer of this, but it was just kind of like, how in the world are we going to control the bird? It's like really
pretty,
easy to do.
yeah.
So right now we're looking for leather.
Until you see a mouse, and then it's gonna get nasty.
Oh yeah. And I believe certain animals is what you made leather out of. So yeah, we might have to
this
do some
sounds
hunting. Yeah. And he even said, I need to hunt for my leather. And it's like...
Well, this just reminds me of all the different times in, you know, history where different people didn't have food and they came to Egypt to get food because... it's almost like the Nile itself was a giant, you know, oasis from the rest of the desert area stuff. So, I mean, Egypt has always been, like, for almost 3,000 years was a gigantic, you know, basically nation that, like... was just so important.
It was like the trade center of the world.
Yeah, it was just it basically ruled the world for thousands of years. And some people think it was even older than a few thousand years, you know. I mean, the Sphinx, no one has any idea how old that thing is. Some people think that was actually in the civilization before Egypt. You know, and there were so many ages of Egypt, like the Golden Age and all this. Still no one has any idea what the Great Pyramid was really for.
That's cool. So I'm going to cut you off real quick. One of the things in Assassin's Creed, what you want to do is find these perch areas where you can sync up to the area around you. That way your assassin can see all around you. It's easier to find quests and targets. So wherever you find these towers or forts or whatever they've been in previous Assassin's Creed games, you want to do the synchronization so you can find out where you're going and how to do it more efficiently. But it's fun to just run around too. And we're going to be jumping into the classic hay barrel that's right below us. Which, you know, boom.
Yeah,
Altair style.
Yeah, it totally reminds me of Assassin's Creed.
Well, I mean, that's the signature, you know. I'm going to cry like a falcon and jump in the hay.
Yeah, I am willing to give this a chance, though. I mean, there's so many different cultures here that it should be fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were talking, like, on the break, and by the break, I mean when we were editing
like
the video.
editing, and you were
Stuff like
editing.
that.
I was
Yeah.
lollygagging.
I always edit the first episode and get it up just so it's synchronized to release when the game comes out because,
yeah, we were talking about the Library of Alexandria, biggest library in the world. Alexandria ended up being the capital of Egypt for like 1,000 years, and the Lighthouse of Alexandria.
I wasn't talking to the Seven Wonders of the World yet. I was talking about how the best way to explain what Egypt is today in this game would be the equivalent of you guys going to New York City.
Yeah, so Alexandria would be like New York City. Like Luke was trying to, because you've got Persia is around that area. You have people from Asia are traveling here, places in Europe, Greece. And I was actually looking on Google, like, different languages that were being spoken in Egypt at the time. You had Egyptian being spoken, Greek, Arab, and French, all at the same time, and who knows what else.
French is kind of weird for me because it wouldn't, I mean, they
Napoleon hadn't come yet because he was not in BC times. But apparently there were French people in
Maybe
Egypt.
like tribes of people that spoke like something similar to French.
Well, maybe they weren't tribes. I mean, maybe French. I think France was a kind of a country back then. No, I don't really know. See, the thing is, when I'm talking about this stuff, I know I'm going to make errors, but all I know is Google told me French was spoken, and there were French people around here. So,
well, I mean, Google. Yeah, it is Google, but here's how I always remembered. Okay, Egypt, ancient Egypt, BC. Knights and samurais, really cool stuff like that, 80. Like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but, I mean, the French people go back really far, though.
Yeah.
I mean, just like Spain and France, like, each of those countries go back extremely far. Yeah, but definitely Persia was around. I mean, I was surprised. Alexander the Great basically conquered Egypt and Persia within, like, 2 years of each other, around 300-something BC. So, and then that's when they put the Ptolemy dynasty on the throne, which is what is right now. So this is still part of the Ptolemy dynasty, which was like 300 years of Greek rulers.
This is either the 19th or 20th dynasty, which would be the last of the Magi.
Thanks to Neith, goddess of hunting.
Okay, so we have to forge some stuff, but just to explain the Magi, because I made a little bit of a mistake, but not really. In the Mummy movie, the Magi, Medjay, is what this guy is. And he is basically like a police officer for all of Egypt.
Protector.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like our character here was an elite force to protect. Like, it feels like Medjay,
elite police force is what the Magi was.
They protect something, and it feels like he was originally part of a line of people that protected the pharaoh, but somehow during that time he realized the pharaoh was corrupt, so he's now protecting the people. But yeah, and it's interesting because the Medjay, whatever this guy is, that's like a police force, and that's different than the Magi,
which
are more like wisdom, magicians,
wise men,
knowledge, wise men people that have been mentioned all throughout different places in history and stuff. So
okay, so I'm gonna cut you off again. This is the abilities menu, just like previous Assassin's Creed games. It's where you go to make your assassin stronger. So there's lots of things from regeneration to your health. There's stealth attacks. There's more efficiency with the bow. There it is, assassination ability.
He's like a Green Beret SWAT officer kind of person.
Kind of. What I remember from the Mummy movie, and yes, I'm using the Mummy movie for example.
Because it's awesome.
Because it's accurate to a lot of stuff of like during Seti the First or Second and stuff like that, which is like several thousand years ago at this point. But, so that would have been like the 12th dynasty or something like that. But, like the Magi, they were the like protectors, kind of like the knights of the pharaoh. Like they were really high up. And then in this time period, he's kind of like a sheriff now.
Yeah.
Like he's protecting Siwa, which is this oasis village place.
It's like he got demoted or something.
No, not demoted. He doesn't like the pharaoh. Like there's some political tension because let's see, 49 BC, Rome has got to be sniffing around Egypt at this point, or they might have, peacefully taken it over, because, let's see, 40
Yeah,
BC
well,
is like around the time of Cleopatra, so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I don't know if they've totally taken it over, but yeah, Rome definitely was.
I like the term sniffing around.
Yeah, I like sniffing
Rome like
around.
got in people's business before they would take over either through war or through their senate.
Except for Scotland. They never
No.
took Scotland.
They didn't.
Yay!
It's because the Scottish are awesome.
Yeah. That's why they had to build that wall, not to protect.
I like that ability.
themselves.
That's arrow retriever. So if a guy shoots us and we have our shield open, then we can pluck off his arrows and use it as our abilities, which is awesome.
Well, if this is around, it depends what emperor is, because I'm gonna have to look up what emperor was.
The pharaoh that they showed started with a P. Like
Yeah, that's Ptolemy.
Okay.
It's a Ptolemy dynasty, Luke. So the first emperor that Alexander the Great put on around 300 BC when he conquered was Ptolemy. So every emperor since then has been named Ptolemy for 300 years.
But it starts with a P, so the P is silent.
P-T-O-L, yeah,
okay.
so Ptolemy, or Ptolemy.
The guy on the elephant, yeah.
The P is silent.
Okay.
I'm assuming, because Ptolemy would be the worst name ever,
So this would probably be the 19th dynasty then, because the last use of the word Magi, or it could be the 20th, M-E-D-J-Y, the 20th dynasty was the last time that it was really ever mentioned in history, like for the, Pharaoh police force or Egypt sheriff. I mean, he's kind of like a sheriff at this point. He doesn't really have a kingdom. He doesn't like the Pharaoh, because even a year ago, he, looked at the Pharaoh like, I don't like you, and you have an elephant, and I'm jealous of your elephant. That kind of stuff. So, he's got his own reasons for doing stuff, and we're going to tackle some quests. Let's start with a small one. We're not going to do the water rats, because we would die. That is a level 2, the family reunion, so that's right in our wheelhouse where we are right now. You can have the freedom to, attack anybody you want, but you will die. I'm just telling you from experience in Assassin's Creed, the levels that they have there, it's for your, knowing that, hey, if I jump into this now, I'm going to be destroyed. Now, thankfully, Ubisoft has actually given us the Gold Edition, which I didn't even know this, so we have access to the serpent armor, cursed weapons, and all this other stuff, but since I'm playing this for the first time with you guys, I would kind of like to experience what it's like, and then when I start to suck more at the game, then I'll switch to the cool, Cobra armor that is available for the gold package, along with some of the gold weapons and stuff like that. But I kind of want to experience what everybody else is going to be like jumping into the game when it comes out on October 27th. So that's my reasoning. I know there are a lot of journalists that would be like, dude, I'm going to go full serpent armor and be super OP right now. But it's if I was wearing Altair's costume, that'd be one thing, the classic medieval Assassin's Creed attire, which is really cool. Or Ezio's stuff would be kind of nice, but again, that's hundreds, if not thousands of years later. So, of course, this guy wouldn't have access to that stuff, so.
I'm pretty sure this is Ptolemy the 13th.
Oh, wow.
I think. I'm not sure. Or the 14th.
I just stole some gold on that pillow. And I took some of this stuff.
But
Ooh.
what dynasty in Egypt it was, I don't know.
19th or 20th. Because, this game mentions something in the press release.
Oh,
but they haven't given a firm... It's either the 19th or 20th.
I thought there were a lot more dynasties in Egypt than that, though. Because it's, so many thousands of years old, but okay.
Dynasties can last for 100 years, or they can last for thousands of years.
The stone circle. I brought Hemu here not so
We found another vantage point. Yay! Synchronization complete.
That would be a long time for one family to rule for thousands of years.
And we bring our... Is that I think that's either a falcon or an eagle. Because I remember at E3 somebody was saying, you could bring out an eagle, but it looks like a falcon. I know that eagles look different than this, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I like flying with the bird, though. It's just... It's a cool thing because... think of it like scoping out the area without putting your assassin at harm,
Yeah. Well,
It's a beautiful creature.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one thing that's interesting, though, is, like, you can see the pharaoh in this definitely looks Egyptian, but since he's related to somebody, like, hundreds of years ago that was Greek, like, I always see, like, a debate going on online, like, oh, was the pharaohs in this dynasty Greek or Egyptian? It's like, I'm guessing they were, like, both,
mixed.
because yeah, there was a Greek descendant a long time ago, but they lived in Egypt for so long, so it
would be
sense.
like a mixed thing, yeah.
It makes both.
Because these aren't full-bred Egyptians anymore. You've got the Greeks, the Romans, there are Asians, Indonesians. There's all kinds of people in Egypt right now. Like, so many different tribes of people. You know, it's not just ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt would be, like, thousands of years ago. Like, which...
I actually heard something, but I'll have to find the article again and verify it. But I actually heard that, like, at the end of, you know, the Egyptian Empire, people started to stop remembering how to speak the ancient Egyptian language.
And to read hieroglyphics.
And how to read the
go.
hieroglyphics and stuff. Which is kind of sad, but they learn more modern languages and stuff.
Well, one of the things that the Greeks would do, I don't remember the Romans, but the Greeks, when they would take over, you know, a country, one of the ways they would do that is by replacing the language and how people would read things. So instead of focusing on reading, like, you know, your culture, like for the Egyptians, reading hieroglyphics and speaking Egyptian, they would be teaching their children how to, you know, read and write in Greek.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean...
Because that was the world trade language for a very long time.
Yeah,
was Greek.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing that... I mean, it's amazing that there were so many different, like, worlds conquering, like, you know, like, empires. You know.
Oh, Bayek. That's how you say his name. Okay, so there's no Y. It's just Bayek.
Yeah, this is different.
I can't pronounce names.
It's fine.
He's the assassin. He's cool. I like him. I could call him B, but, you know, I think people might be like, no. He's B, the assassin.
I'm Magi. You're back.
Or Magi. Magi is easy for me to say, so that's no big.
What happened to your blacksmith shop?
Those naked-yaded soldiers. Ptolemy's captain saw me making a sword and accused me of being a rebel.
Oh
I
no.
was not wrong.
They confiscated my tools.
Ah, bastards. All of Siwa needs a blacksmith. Even me.
I cannot help you, Bayek. Not until I get my hammer and tongs back. And I have to get that ugly-ass APAP captain off my ass.
Is this captain with the tools somewhere I can find him?
At the foot of the hills west of here. Camp Shetje.
I will get those tools back, and I will take care of the captain.
You know, his hair looks really nice.
What? He's got pretty awesome hair, yeah.
He's in Camp Shetje as well.
Alright, you done speaking there, B?
Oh my gosh, there was a
Siwa is a dangerous place.
tiger rug.
Yeah, there's tigers here, there's leopards. You have to be very careful. I was given a hunting guide
Thank a moon ray.
that I
Bayek has
was
returned
reading.
to the oasis.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
Oh, you can hunt tigers.
Alright, how are you doing? You can hunt all kinds of animals. But they advise, like, leveling up. Because remember, they send out a reviewer's guide to people because they want them to best describe their game. So certain difficulties in the game arise, like getting eaten by a leopard, or, you know, something like that. They need to give you heads up. Okay, you probably don't want to go out here at night. You want to avoid this animal. You want to avoid hyenas and all this other stuff.
Oh my gosh, hyenas. Oh,
yeah.
Those... I have to say, I'd rather go up against a leopard than a tiger, though. Tigers are... There's probably... I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they're the strongest cat. I mean, yeah, lions are pretty strong, but tigers are wicked strong.
Yeah,
and I'm biased because I'm my favorite animal.
I'm actually... I believe the falcon, when we were hunting, actually spotted some leopards, but I didn't want to point it out because if you would have asked me to get close, we would have died. We're only a level 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I am not very good with a bow. I've said this because I'm trying people to get used to my style of gameplay. I am not a major, you know, shoot you from afar. I like getting up close and personal. I like grapple takedowns and I like upgrading my warrior melee abilities and my like stealth takedowns because I don't know what it is. I'm not very good at aiming. I would not make a good soldier IRL. I can't, you know, guns, bows, crossbows. When I played with Altair and Ezio, it was always Batman style stealth, you know?
Yeah.
Even though I wore like bright white robes, both at night and during the day, and stood out so badly, it was still technically stealth. So, that's how I play, stealth gameplay.
Yeah.
Good or bad?
I know this is Egypt and not
crap.
Arabia, but this kind of reminds me of Aladdin, the cartoon.
Little bit. I mean, I don't really... I never really saw pictures of what a village or an oasis town in Egypt would be like. I know what something in Greece or Rome would look like, but Egypt, it was always, you'd see a massive pyramid and people would be intense, or they'd look kind of like what ancient Israel looked like, you know, with the carvings of stone houses and stuff, like the small, you know, whatever they called those.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what they're called. I don't know.
I don't know the term.
But I just, yeah, I mean, you usually only hear about the ancient Egypt. You don't really hear about what the whole, you know, after they...
But I'm kind of glad that they did this because, I mean, I know there's a lot of talk that, you know, Masonry happened during the time of Solomon, or it could have happened, like, with Nimrod or whatever, but I like when they include other aspects of Assassin's Creed because, I mean, the whole Eden thing revolves around a certain point in time. So, I mean, if you go too far back, it doesn't really make any sense, but if you go, like, 49 years before the birth of Christ and stuff like that, then it kind of plays into, you know, some of the stuff that would happen with the Templars, like, thousands of years later. You know, it would coincide with, because there were people that believed different things about, like, when the Messiah would come. So, you know, different sects and organizations would be forming and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, the Templars were definitely, you're right.
My family needs me.
But they weren't called Templars. They were something
There were
different.
different, like, orders and stuff of different kind of orders of knights and stuff that definitely, yeah, some of them were protecting, like, secret knowledge, and some of it did have to do with, like, the birth of Christ or the lineage of Christ and stuff like that. So yeah, you're right. That would make sense that it would be around this time.
That's what I like about. I mean, I got mad at Assassin's Creed for basically, you know, the whole. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Pope, but like saying that, you know, a huge group of Christians were all evil and stuff like that. But then over time, they've kind of changed, like, that different cultures had like a piece of the Eden and stuff like that, so it wasn't just going after one group anymore. But it was really interesting how they went about the storytelling, and I got to play through not Brotherhood, but Assassin's Creed 2, 3. I really liked the pirate one, and the Revolution was really cool. And I like how they were able to incorporate so many different things. So with this being the origins that they've hinted at in previous Assassin's Creed games, where, you know, it all started in Egypt and everybody's like, whoa, what are they going to do about that? Like, when in Egypt did it start?
Yeah.
You know?
But, okay, not to be, well, you know what, I won't say well, this is the origins of the Assassins, though. It might not have been the origins of the Templars, but it's kind of interesting, though, because you don't really know when the origin of the Masons really were, because obviously they got inspiration from Solomon and Nimrod and Osiris, but did they start then? Is it the same Masons as you see today? It's but it's kind of hard to tell.
But we do know in this series that aliens basically created everything.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's another Elseworld story.
Yeah,
Like,
since they mentioned Osiris a little bit, you know, slumbering Osiris, in this, now we're gonna see how bad I am with the bow.
Well,
So that's not gonna be good. Yeah, no, he's gonna come after me. So probably you're gonna see Osiris as like a alien, just like you saw some of the other, you know, really Greek and Roman and other gods as being aliens in the Assassin's Creed series. It would make sense that, you know, maybe the pyramids are going to be like spaceships or something, and he's going to be like, what in the world am I seeing? You know, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
You are finished.
that would kind of make sense because Osiris, I think, considered himself, you know, like divine or not from this earth.
Mm-hmm.
So that would totally make sense with what Osiris probably thought he was anyway.
Totally.
And may have been, I don't know, something weird because
Oh no.
There's no escape.
I've alerted everybody. Alright, I'm gonna try shooting this guy. In the leg. Missed. Nuts! Ow. So we've already died once, so the no death run is officially over, but, you know, I wasn't really planning on not getting killed, because I die a lot in Assassin's Creed. Basically, how I play it is, once I figure out what I did wrong, I find another approach. It's just ketchup. He's tired.
well, it's interesting you were talking about that though, because there's so many cultures that have like the tree of life in their like
Bye-bye.
religion and stuff like that. So that idea of like the Garden of Eden is actually in a lot of different cultures.
As is the
Think about
flood.
it. Yeah.
Which I believe they mentioned the flood in this, but I've been getting some questions on Twitter and some DMs and stuff like that. This doesn't take place. There was, okay, the only reason a lot of people were like, okay, this is going to show like the Israelites as slaves and it's going to be ancient Egypt, is there was a
No.
leak on Reddit about 6 months ago where they talked about how, yes, he would be a Magi, but he would be like, you know, former associate of like a sect of Solomon or something like that. That turned out not to be true. He's a police officer of Egypt, and this is not the Exodus. There is no parting of the Red Sea in this game. They're not doing that. They're doing the time of Alexandria.
So, well, actually, Alexander the Great, Alexandria, the city, exactly.
The city of Alexandria.
Because especially because they found those chariot wheels and stuff in 2012 and all this stuff. Basically, what has been mainly the date that people have always seen as the Exodus has been either like 1500 to 1300 BC, depending on which Egyptian ruler you thought it was. But there was definitely people that lived in the Nile Delta. I can't remember their name at this moment, but they've been talked about in like Greek history and Egyptian history, and they lived like from.
My family needs me.
It was like a whole bunch of dynasties, and then after
Thousands of years.
After they left, well, yeah, maybe like I mean, I don't know if it was the thousands, but it was definitely hundreds of years.
They had a weird, like, the way that they pronounced their name, it started with an H, but it was...
Well, I'll have to find it
right.
later.
It was kind of weird. But, I mean, basically, long story short, when this group of people left, the Egyptians were kind of happy that they were gone because they weren't worshippers of Ra.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know.
Yeah, so...
Booyah.
Yeah, if you guys are looking for, you know... So, like, the Exodus and everything would have happened, like, 1,500 to 1,300 years before this. So, more than 1,000 years. And then the Temple of Solomon was, like, 1,000 BC, something like that. So that was they're long gone.
Yeah,
like
so
the Israelites
basically,
are long gone.
all the stuff about Reddit that Moses is in this and that, you know, this is a slave rebelling, it's not true.
Because the nation of Israel was already started like 1,000 years before this game. So
And it would be under Roman occupation by this point.
Yeah, exactly. The Romans are occupying Jerusalem.
Okay, that's not a good idea. If we try to take down those fools, we will die. So, oh, great. How did they even hear me? They have, like, ears of, like... I mean, these guys are, like, super alert. Even the knights weren't that alert in previous Assassin's Creed games. Like, the clunky Templar guys, they wouldn't hear me if I was that close. It's crazy. They, like, have super Roman hearing or something. That's just messed up. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah.
No. And I also don't like how the increased level... I mean, I'm terrible with a bow, but if you get shot in the head with an arrow in most Assassin's Creed games, you're done. But it's because they have more health, like, they're a higher level. That doesn't make any sense. Because I wasted that ability to increase my XP from headshots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, I expect when I hit somebody with a sword who's standing on the edge of a building to fall off. They're not falling off at all. Like, they're gracefully, like, just falling into place. You know? Okay, there he goes. Thank you. I was gonna say, but he didn't, like, catalyst off it, like in an action movie where you, like, kick somebody off a building. They go, aye! You know, he's literally standing right on the edge and nothing's happening. That to me is kind of disappointing. Because, I mean, I remember, especially in Assassin's Creed 2, I would love using, like, a weapon of some sort, like some type of dagger or something to get a guy to stumble off a building. You know, that was cool.
Yeah.
It was like a high-powered crossbow that was kind of like underneath my arm or something like that. And I want to see the hidden blade in this. This is probably going to be the creation of the hidden blade, too. Which is the signature Assassin's Creed weapon. The thing that's underneath, you know, they're like... Whoosh.
Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna go for a walk. I don't know, I like moving the bodies. It's just kind of funny. It's like, he's like, oh no, I don't want more guards to find me, so I will just put this guy carefully over here, off the cliff. Everything will be fine. Because I am Bayek. Okay, he didn't fall over. That's not right. Okay, we gotta do that again. Alright. Come on, dude. Making me look bad. Ball. Yes! Oh, that's a long way down. Oh, that's so cool. Sorry. It's the little things in life that I just, you know. Muito bem.
That's beautiful, Luke. That's beautiful.
Okay.
Let me out.
No, I don't want to right now. I actually don't think we're supposed to be here right now. So, if you really think about it, I'm doing pretty good. Like, I'm doing really well right now because this Temple of Ammon, I'm not supposed to be here yet. Because, like, they're playing different music than some of the other quests. I think this is a place where you need to assassinate a leader. Because, I mean, look at the scale of this temple. I mean, this is really a nice spread.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it's nowhere near my radar. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be here. I messed up.
I think this is, like, somewhere important.
Yeah, I messed up. Well, guys, I'm not good with directions, so, I mean, you know, there's that. Alright, come on, friend. We're gonna move you to a more, secretive place. Right here, so that nobody finds you. Okay, drop the body. Drop the body. No, don't throw it! They'll hear you. They have, like, ears of an eagle. Just crazy. Alright, how do I get out of here now? You know what? I think we're gonna loot and plunder before we go, because, you know, all this stuff belongs to the people. And I'm gonna chuck this whole assassin thing and become, like, a Robin Hood. That's who should have been an assassin! Instead of Altair, it should have been Robin Hood, should have been the first game. Because it happened in medieval times, you know?
Robin Hood.
Robin of Locksley, the first assassin. Well, I mean, in a video game, he wasn't the first assassin, it's this guy. Technically.
Yeah, but Robin Hood didn't, like, kill people on purpose. He just stole money and, like, let people go. I don't think he slaughtered people on purpose.
Neither did some of the other characters that they had be assassins.
Okay. Alright. Sorry, I'm just, like...
They take historical figures and they make them, except
they make them... They're too mean. Like, they slaughter people too much.
This guy's awesome. He's smiley, he's happy, he's got a falcon, he's a nice guy. You know, I
saw him hurt a lot of people so far. I don't know if I'm very happy about that.
Well, I mean, you know, he is an assassin. It's kind of his job. He's got to keep the people of Egypt safe from people who aren't nice. Wait, I was just taking a moonlight stroll. It's fine. All right, I'm gonna shoot this guy. This is where we're supposed to be. This is correct. Because if you look at the number above these people, it says 2 and 1. So
Yeah.
I went, don't go to the Temple of Ammon yet, people. That's not right. And this is, again, my first time playing this, so I'm literally learning as we go. And over time, I promise you I will get more decent at the game. I won't get amazing at it because, let's face it, Batman player, Assassin's Creed, a little bit different, especially this one. But I'm being completely honest with everybody, I'm having a lot of fun. Like, this is, you know, this is really fun.
Yeah, it is. I actually I had a really great website that was talking about that, but you know what? I can't find it anymore.
Booyah!
It doesn't matter.
Oops. Wow, he took out his sword awfully slow. It's kind of cool to see the difference in weapons, too. It really looks like that Roman guy is using, like, a small sword, which I believe they were called gladiuses. They were, like, they weren't weapons that you would want to get, like, stuck into people's flesh and break bone, like some other people. It was, like, a quick stabbing weapon that you could you know, strike really, really fast. And when the other guy was trying to swing his sword, because of its weight, you would have kind of an advantage, especially if there were a lot of you that ganged up on him.
Yeah.
But it would have been cool if these guys were wearing armor. They're just wearing, like, very... I understand it's very hot and we're in an oasis, but I just feel that Roman soldiers would look like Roman soldiers. These guys look like Roman soldiers who woke up from a nap, you know?
I know, right?
Because even I'm wearing, like, a type of bronze breastplate, just covering my heart, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's good enough.
Quickly, go!
Run!
Where is Teramun? Ah, dear Amun. He has died from his wounds.
Oh, I lost a friend.
His family will want to bury him properly.
Okay, so I'm gonna take his body. That's not creepy at all. We're gonna return his body to his family, and they will be grateful.
Poor guy.
Oh man, picking up the
Oh,
corpses.
look at that. That's really cool. The way that they're carrying the water out there. That's pretty cool. They have like little channels of water.
I will say this about Ubisoft. They really do their homework.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many details that I would probably be like, ooh, 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 but I've not been saying it every time, but there's so many cool details to this.
I really hope, like, just to get back to what Amber was bringing up, that they do include the 7 wonders of the world. I mean, Alexandria had, as Amber was saying, a lighthouse. It also had, well, it wasn't really included, but the Great Library.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So the Lighthouse of Alexandria was one of the 7 wonders of the world. But yeah, the Library of Alexandria was amazing. It was the greatest source of information, like, in the entire world at that time.
Was the Pyramid of Giza ever considered that, or just the Sphinx?
The Pyramid of Giza has been one of the 7 wonders of the world, I believe, and it never stopped being a wonder of the world, because other, like you were talking about this, other wonders of the world, like, crumbled and got,
well,
like,
we know what happened to the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. They were destroyed, just like, you know, a lot of stuff in Greece, like,
oh yeah,
stuff like that, which is a shame. That's what I hate about wars.
News. Where is Giza?
She lies here with her son and daughter.
The entire family.
Sadly, I see Teramun also paid the price for his recklessness. I warned him that his rebelliousness would bring torment and suffering.
But what happened?
They saw the soldiers coming and hid in the cellar. But the soldiers burnt the house to the ground to teach everyone a lesson.
Oh, jeez.
it's disturbing.
Put the body down there. They will journey to the Duat together.
Duat, I think, is
So
underworld.
many deaths in the Wahat. We cannot give them
I
a
don't
proper
know.
burial.
Or netherworld. I forget what they call it,
It's
but
not your rebelliousness that got you killed, Seni. It is Ptolemy's sick regime. He is a bad pharaoh.
I agree.
Oh, you shouldn't be saying that. The Pharaoh's gonna be so mad at you.
He liked the previous pharaoh. He didn't vote for this one. No.
I don't think you get to vote for
No.
pharaohs.
No, you didn't. You're born. And then that's, I mean, it's actually kind of an interesting job. You're literally born into it, you know? Like, unless you don't survive.
It's such a foreign concept now because there are hardly any, like, rulers that are born like that. Well, I mean, there are some still, but, you know, like, so much, yeah.
Out of the way!
Whoa!
What's the meaning of this?
There, that is a classic looking dude. Nope, never mind, that was a Roman. I thought I was gonna
Yeah.
see, like, this Egyptian warrior, you know, bare-chested with the headpiece and, you know, like the bronze kind of like shield on his back and the like not scimitar but like a sickle weapon. Nope. But anyway, guys and gals, that does it for this episode. Thanks for watching. We had a lot of fun. We hope you did too, hunting and doing one of the first side quests. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow with part 3. God bless and happy gaming.
See ya!